and welcome to the relaunch of the Forest 24/7 podcast. This is Forest247.com in association with. Also being recorded it today with the main writer Ben of My Only Forest blog. Used to write Forest for 24/7. Enjoy. Okay, so a strange week for Forest. I don't even begin to know where I guess you start with the George Boyd situation.
Yeah, it's not season really. I mean, I know we was all saying that we wanted the mid-table at the start of the season. I suppose it's what we're getting, but we're still getting the same aggro that we always have where nothing's the same. And I think you've spoke about it from Forest 24/7 with the Twitter sphere or something like that, where all the fans just react to anything. It's a bit madness, really.
There's like a knee-jerk reaction to anything and everything. I mean, you just got to see it last week again, where someone said, I'm the new mascot, Baba the Camel," and everyone just instantly believes it without going, "Hang on, this could be a wind-up."
Exactly.
Except for a few.
Look at the Sky Bet odds as well. I mean, like, what was it? It was Davies first, Adkins, and then it was the Kuwaiti national team manager. It's just people taking the mickey all the time. It's like anyone believes anything. It's just got to calm down a bit now.
Fawaz was 25-1 himself for the job.
He's getting further out. He won't be happy about that if he wants to keep taking control.
He's going to put himself an announcement in. Put a tenner on himself.
But Davies is the favourite anyway, so we'll see how that one goes again. What are you thinking to that?
I think we'll come on to it a bit more in a minute. We'll do a bit more on Davies because it's the big news at the moment. I mean, if we just basically... What bothers me most about the George Boyd thing, about everyone using this as a tool for getting on Fawaz's back, is no one wanted him anyway after the fact. Everyone moaned about signing him. We don't sign him. Oh, that's a disgraceful decision. Okay, it wasn't fair messing him around and using this weird eye excuse, but...
Yeah, I know. It was for me. I mean, I suppose you saw from my tweets and things I've said previously. It was almost like I wasn't bothered that we didn't get Boyd because he was almost a bit of the same. I know he offered width, but he had no pace and the skills like Didier and Reed, and just offered nothing more. But I think with Boyd, it was more so the fact that it was just a chairman intervening again and nothing was progressing. It's almost like that. I appreciate all the players he's brought on, all the scoreboards as most fans do. But it's almost just like we thought we was going back to basics, building on the academy, going from square one.
And
really I was like to where he wasn't going any further.
Well, we had 3 or 4 promises as well. Chris Burke, of course. Then again, we move on to the Birmingham game. He was always going to score. I should have put money on it. On it.
Exactly, and I was thinking this week if McLeish was going to stay in charge, you could see O'Driscoll getting one over on us as well. But fortunately, we might see a draw at the least now on Saturday, but you just never know at the minute. It's too up and down and never an even keel.
So go on then, your thoughts on McLeish legging it, or was he sacked?
It's a bit coincidental. I thought McLeish walked. He was a bit sceptical about what he wanted to do, and I was always of the thought if you don't know what he wants after 7 games, he might as well go now. But maybe he was talking to solicitors to see how he could get a payoff if he walks. So I think it's just a bit coincidental that Davies was going to Blackpool, and then we've stepped in, and on the day that Davies was about to go to Blackpool, McLeish is gone, and Davies is now coming here. It's a bit unusual, really.
I don't thought of it like that. I mean, you consider that is the way Fawaz works. Obviously, we have a big win against Leeds, and I mean, that whole McLeish thing to me suggested that they knew, they'd been in contact with him all the way since the summer, and McLeish was going, no, don't want it yet. No, don't want it yet. And the moment he said, yeah, all right, O'Driscoll, you go, we just won 4-1. Damn it, this is going to look dodgy.
Yeah.
But
if it was the Watford game, it'd have been understandable because we've not played well since that Wolves match in November. But after that 4-2 game, it was like a Davies performance. It was almost like you walked away from the ground knowing we're really going in the right direction, a point off the playoffs. I think we could do it, and then that happened, and here we are now, really.
Yeah, Mr. Davies, or potentially not, or potentially yes, or potentially not, depending on which 5-minute period of time you've looked at on Twitter.
Depends when you log on to Twitter, I suppose.
I've not even had a look at the Facebook comments because generally you get a bit more of a quality nutter on Facebook, so that could be worth a laugh as well. But Facebook just seems to have attracted a weird set of people at the moment.
Now my friend was telling me tonight after the England game, he was saying he went on to the Billy Davies page on Facebook and he said,
is it still there?
Forest fan wants Davies, and he said oh, no, I don't want him. And some fan accused him of not being a proper fan. He's saying he was sick of him and he shouldn't come to Forest anymore. So it's just a knee-jerk type reactions we have at the minute.
It's a classic thing as well that if you're not bad, if you don't want Billy Davies, you're a closet Derby fan type excuse that's meant to shame you into wanting him. Oh, they bring back the Billy Davies page is a big banner picture saying "Bring back Billy." Well, bring Billy back, I should say. No hashtag unfinished business, which has really annoyed me because just get a new phrase, everyone. Don't just keep using the same one. Yeah, I mean, I think I've said it a lot on the blog and on the forum. I don't know how many people listening to this will have ever seen the forum. Now it works again.
For this week, anyway.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the man. I'm a fan of what he did, but I just don't know how someone with an abrasive personality who used to not get along with the board and question their financial backing of him is now going to come in straight after a manager walked after not getting any financial backing. It's a strange one.
It's a strange one. I was just about to say it's win-win for Billy, and I suppose it's win-win for the fans. It's win-win for Billy because if he gets us up or if he does well, he can say, "Look how brilliant I am." If he fails, he can say it's because of the board and what's happened to McLeish and everything. And from a fan perspective, it's win-win again because if he succeeds, we could be pushing playoffs again. And if he fails, then it stops all this bring back Billy thing once and for all because I get absolutely sick of it every time we get a new manager.
Yeah, I mean, it's like everyone doesn't think there's another manager out there and that he's the best ever. Don't get me wrong. I mean, playoffs twice. It was good, but we spent 5-6 million in the first season, and he was around. And how many other clubs in the division spent that much that year? Possibly Cardiff, who were perennial underachievers. But okay, the clubs who come down are always going to do that. And this year probably should have been a bit more for the taking. So maybe the playoffs could still be on, and there's always a team who does a late charge. But everyone's saying, "Oh, we can make the playoffs." Do we really want to go through this again?
Yeah, I know. Let's just see how we go. Let's just get on a steady
ground. Can we not just finish 7th and then go for automatic next year? I don't know if I could take another playoffs. I mean, I've had it.
Finish the season strongly. That's the main thing, I suppose.
I've only had it 3 times. The first time, the Sheffield United year, I was abroad, so I didn't really get to experience it. So, it's a strange one. Again, I'm going to have a hashtag of strange one for this podcast. I liked it. It was good.
Yeah. It's always interesting with David. So when he says he doesn't have the backing, because I was saying it to someone earlier, right? It was almost like we spent 5 or 6 million that season, we finished third, and we missed out on Gareth Bale, Nicky Shorey, and Victor Moses in that transfer window. So we went for
Moses for like $1.5 million, wasn't it, or something?
Yeah, it was just like we went for people, he had the backing, but we just missed out on the targets.
We might have got Victor Moses had a Premiership club not come in for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I mean, so there's current. Because nothing's happening, everyone on Twitter is basically saying, "Oh, is he having an eye test?" So this is going to be the new joke. This is this generation's Barry Roach Kenko coffee cup type joke that just won't die for a while. Funny for a while, but I can see if we're still doing it in a month, it'll be a bit annoying.
In the summer we're getting it as well.
Yeah, every signing. Oh, has he passed his eye test? Blah blah blah. Yeah. Do you know if George Boyd fails if his career's over in 2 years because of his eyesight going, see Fawaz sitting there with a big smile on his face.
Well, it turns up to a game like Edgar Davids 1 week.
Well, true. I'm surprised. Yeah. Did he do that? I didn't see anything of what they did at the weekend. I'd have done that if I was him. I would have worn some kind of Edgar Davids glasses. But yeah, I don't know. My football prediction is not too great at the moment, so I won't predict anything like that. I said Ghana would win in the Africa Cup of Nations today, so there's another £2 gone.
I was going to say, I couldn't believe I'm just waiting for Gideon to come back now. I can't wait for that. I think we'll really kick on because I think that was the main thing with McLeish. We weren't playing great, but we didn't have Guardiola, and I think that was a big miss really under his reign. Things could have been a bit more different.
Like a new signing and all the cliches. We'll never. I mean, how do you feel if you're Darius Henderson? Darius Henderson at the moment.
Darius Henderson.
He's a bit of a Billy Davies player, actually.
Yeah, I think if Billy gets the job, he'll become his Adibola. I think Davies will love him. Just a big, strong. He reminded me of Grant Holt personally.
Yeah.
He had him when he won this. I think he'll be good.
Well, that's what Davies likes, isn't he? He sends on a big lump in the last 10 minutes if everything else has failed.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I think if you're running against people. The trouble is we've got no pace. I mean, when we used to have players like Earnshaw, it'd be you've been chasing Earnshaw game, then you bring Addy Bill on, you've then got to be strong against. It's just like it was a good swap. But I think if you got Billy Sharp, who's going to mentally drain the defender, he's still a good player to bring on. But I like him. I think he'll be decent.
Yeah, I mean, he was always trouble against us for Millwall and Sheffield United. My brother's a Sheffield United fan, and he loves him. I mean, I don't think he was even there for that long, but he's just one of those players who had an impact for a short while. And he's got a daft first name, which always helps.
It helps. He's got 6 months here, so he's got a good opportunity to make a quick impact.
Well, I mean, to say we did go up, he could be the Ricky Lambert, he could be the Grant Holt. You know, I'm semi-joking, but there's a semi-seriousness to that.
So just see how it goes with him.
So I mean, basically, about 6 o'clock, it was tweeted that he's about 4. No, it was at lunchtime, wasn't it? Blackpool chairman said he's not coming. He's accepting another offer, which has sent everyone off thinking he'd get it. Natalie Jackson said she thought he was coming, and then some journalist no one's ever heard of, who doesn't appear to have an affiliation with anyone and just tweets betting tips, said, "Oh no, he's turned around, he's gone to Blackpool because Fawaz doesn't like him." And everyone immediately believes it because Fawaz has now got this reputation as being a bit crazy.
Yeah.
And so now we're in limbo while, you know, it all goes off. And everyone who said that Roy Keane was going to be the new manager is slightly disappointed to have seen him on the ITV studio tonight to stop that one. And there's this, I don't know if you've seen it because you've been out, haven't you, Ben? But there's a picture going around on Twitter. It has a number plate of 97 BD. Must be Billy Davies. Despite the fact that Fawaz apparently during the week locates himself in London. So there goes that theory.
Oh, very interesting. If that guy's called Bill Daniels, he'll be regretting that number plate because he's just on Twitter and not going to get in the Nottingham area.
Yeah, everyone now knows he's got quite a posh BMW 4x4. So, you know, follow him home. I think what it will do is it'll galvanise a lot of fans if we do appoint him. A lot of people, the next home game will be a sellout. But I mean, after that, I think it's a cheap ticket game anyway, so it'll be a sellout regardless. But yeah, everyone will point to the fact that Davies is back and use that as why it's a sellout. But anyway, it'll be interesting to see if it does happen. Now, what will also be very interesting to see is if it doesn't happen. Adkins is a name mentioned, but you know, he's just been sacked by a bit of a power crazy chairman. Does he want another one?
It's entirely up to him. It depends how much money you offer. I suppose with Atkins, he's not Guardiola going for. I think if you offer him enough money, I think he'll be enough to tempt him.
Yep.
And if it doesn't work, he gets a massive payout from it. It just depends who you go for. I mean, again, I thought when we lost McLeish, I thought you go at the top again. You start with Adkins and Di Matteo and work your way down the list. You start at the best that are out of work and move on. So it's not someone like Mark Hughes or Paul Ince. I wasn't really too fussed who got it again.
Oh, God. The Paul Ince. Sven got his name on the list again somewhere. Don't know how he does
Wherever
it.
there's money, there's Sven.
Jimmy, you got linked heavily here today, Jimmy Ford Hasselbank. Untried, but it's the sort of crazy thing that might work.
It's odd. I mean, I saw it was Hasselbank was going to go as caretaker, and then Davies would take over. But it's just a bit odd because obviously Kelly's been appointed as caretaker until the foreseeable future. But it seems like Fawaz is backtracking on the people that went in January.
Frank Clark's rumoured of coming back as well, isn't he?
Yeah, I saw that today about Frank Clark. I mean, obviously we good because I think we need more exposure around the ground and people with English game knowledge to give Fawaz some support because he's making mistakes left, right and centre at the moment. So any support's good and I think Fawaz acknowledges it. So we'll see what happens there.
I don't think he quite expected the minefield of British football of what it is, to be honest. But he's learning the hard way, hopefully. I mean, he can't be stupid. Yeah. He's made money somehow from somewhere, although no one really knows how much.
At least we're not QPR.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway.
Might be better if we kept Omar. Maybe it all went a bit crazy when Fawaz took over.
It was ever since that Watford game when he took over after that match.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to understand what some people are saying on Twitter at the moment. It's somebody classic. I won't believe until Billy's back at Seagull until I see him stood in the dugout. It's an interesting one to go for. I'll believe it when I see he's written a contract, to be honest. Way before that.
The most interesting thing with Davis now is he's on his own. There's no Mark Arthur there. There's no David. There's no panel. If Davis wants money, Fawaz will give it to him, and it's up to Davis now. He's only got himself to blame if he doesn't get it to work because it's what he wants all along under Doherty. But we know Davis will probably find someone else to blame.
Oh, there's always someone to blame for Davis.
Yeah.
I mean, can you remember when Dexter did his cruciate, and Dave Jones's main comment about was that, oh, it's something for Billy Davies to moan about. Well, yes, because one of his star players has got a career-threatening injury, but that's by the by, Dave. His name was mentioned today as well, by the way, Dave Jones.
Dave Jones is actually been linked, Dave Jones, sorry.
Well, I think I saw 2 people mention his name. Oh, that means being linked with on the internet these days. And Nigel Clough's getting mentioned as well, but I don't know if he'd come to us because we've given him 4 years of absolute shtick for gradually getting fatter than his derby coat.
He's done a good job with it, but
he's been lucky. He's been lucky that he's had 4 or 5 quality youngsters come through. None of them would have been signed by him. When you get the likes of Will Hughes and Theo Robinson, and I don't care to think it's what some of the others are called, but you know.
It's always an interesting thing. They've obviously had Will Hughes, they've had Jeff Hendrick come through the academy at Derby. It's almost like, if we got Davies back, we go back to where we don't play the young kids. I mean, I was thinking, Lascelles came through Derby's academy. Where would he be now compared to where he is with us at the moment? Yeah,
but my point on some of that was, if you look at the youngsters who were on the fringes of the first team under Davies, who got released, the main 3 were now Rodney, who's now at Lincoln, Emile Sinclair, who briefly went up to Peterborough and has retreated back to someone in League One, and Hamza Ben Sharif, who's a fringe at County. So, you know, I mean, half the argument, I always had your argument as well until I actually looked at it and thought, hang on, there wasn't the youngsters coming through. Maybe that was the reason.
Well, the other player was Matt Thorne, and I think he's at Buxton now. So
yes, he is. Yeah, that surprised me. I did the research for the He started against Man City, and now he plays for Buxton.
Did he score that game as well?
No, he sort of had the shot that was deflected onto But yeah. Anyway, so it'll be an interesting few days. Hopefully, we'll have a lot to talk about next week on it then. And what we're going to try and do. If anyone listening is interested as well, drop us a line. If I read your tweets and you look like a moron, you're not coming on. If you disagree with me, you're not coming on.
You've been blocked recently, you can't come on either.
Yeah, there's a couple of other bloggers we know, because if you don't know, Ben used to write for Fawaz 24/7, now writes his own stuff.
Time permitting, of course.
Yeah, and we know a guy who's done a couple of things for the Chad. Via the forum we go on, who we might try and involve. But if you're interested, and you're one of the few people who might listen to this, because no one ever used to listen to the old one, it was amateurly produced, we'll see where we can go. But, well, I mean, thank you, Ben, for joining us, and time permitting next Wednesday, we'll see what we can do. I mean, we'll have the game against Bristol City to discuss, and we've barely even mentioned that Sean O'Driscoll was the manager in that game, so...
Yeah.
That's actually cunning ruse by... This is the Billy Davies thing. It's a cunning ruse to distract us from Sean O'Driscoll.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't know Sean O'Driscoll was there, but I'm sure we will do if he speaks to us at 4:45 on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, with a nice passing performance. And Paul Anderson and who else is there? Yeah, they both score. Yeah, that'll be good times. Right. Okay, I'm going to stop it there.
Not to worry. Cheers.